One player through the hole, one goal from the start. To dominate the art of the black and blue. And watch your Super Bowl dreams till they all come true.
In his 32nd year of coaching, the dean of NFL coaches at 69, Dick Vermeil, his battles with Bill Belichick go back to when he was the head coach of the Eagles and Belichick a young assistant with the New York Giants. What a scene. We're ready to go, and today's game is brought to you in high definition by Sony. Those are the survivors, and of course that's the theme on CBS and this game today. Back at Arrowhead with a sellout of up to 79,000 fans. The Patriots have won the toss, will receive. Lawrence Tynes teeing up in front of these rabid Kansas City Chiefs fans. This is the weekly social event throughout the fall, and it's Tim Dwight, the veteran speedster, played Big Ten ball in this area at Iowa, and Tynes are ready to go, and this one underway with a low skidding kick toward the corner, fielded on a hop by Dwight. Speedster at the 20 and wrapped up at the 29-yard line. Gary Stills leads Kansas City in special team tackles and made that one. Tom Brady has kept the Patriots in playoff contention. His 2,700 yards passing leads all NFL quarterbacks. And the Pats with two rookies on the offensive line, Logan Mankins and Nick Kajur, who replaces Matt Light at left tackle today. And with both Corey Dillon and Kevin Falk out, Heath Evans will get most of the carries. Evans signed off the street 3 weeks ago. And it's Evans lined up behind Brady. He gets the call, and he's hit in the backfield, fights his way forward, maybe a yard or just to the line of scrimmage. The Chiefs' defense is led by second-year defensive end Jared Allen. The high-motor Allen with 7 sacks and 6 forced fumbles. Vermeil sees all-pro potential in his speedy #1 draft pick at linebacker Derek Johnson. And fortifying the back four, Sammy Knight from Miami. He brings leadership and 35 career interceptions to the Chiefs defense. On second down, Brady hit as he throws, and the ball falls incomplete. That's Jared Allen, a monster, and they may be calling this a fumble. Now, no, they're waving it off. Referee Bill Vinovich signals that the arm was moving forward for Brady. And there's Allen again. He's one of the very best in the league.
Well, he doesn't take plays off, Dick. You see Jared Allen coming around the edge. Just keeps working. He's got a big-time motor. Tom Brady holds the ball waiting for someone to get open. Just can't find anybody. Jared Allen makes the big play.
So third down and 10 for New England against the Kansas City defense that has allowed only 3 points in the first quarter all season. Noise level rises as Brady fades and throws toward the sideline. Incomplete. Almost intercepted on the carom. As coming back for the ball was Eric Warfield. Warfield intercepted a ball for a touchdown at Houston last week.
Well, Tom Brady just trying to stick this one in between double coverage. He's got the corner out. It's the last second. Benny Sapp's able to get his hand up on the ball. This one almost gets picked off. You hate to see those balls deflected up in the air if you're a quarterback. Nothing good ever happens in those situations.
The ever-dangerous Dante Hall. You saw 10 career kick return touchdowns plus 1 in the playoffs. And a high boot by Josh Miller. The dancing of Hall. And he's out to the 33-yard line before Michael Stone can make the tackle. Kansas City offense, Trent Green making his 75th consecutive start. His career numbers now are second only to the Chiefs Hall of Fame legend Len Dawson. Kansas City welcomes back 10-time Pro Bowler at left tackle Willie Roaf. And with Priest Holmes on IR, Larry Johnson is averaging over 100 yards per start, 211 last week against Houston, best in the entire league all year. Trent Green with Johnson and Tony Richardson, the fullback, in motion. Larry Johnson breaks into the clear. He's all the way to midfield, but a flag is down. Now there's a sample of why Johnson's been ripping up NFL defenses in his previous starts, only 6 in the last 2 years. Speed, power.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 49. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Tony Richardson with a foul. Here's the Patriot defense. Richard Seymour anchoring the New England defensive front back from an injury. Seymour seeks his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl. Mike Vrabel continues to produce the big play with a touchdown interception and a touchdown catch this year. And on the back line, rookie Ellis Hobbs at cornerback. Oh, what disaster it's been back there with injury. 6 defensive backs for New England on injured reserve. All started with Rodney Harrison going down in the 4th game of the year. In fact, they've had 6 different starters at strong safety alone. Spread for Green. He's going to go long. Looking for Kennison. He's got it. And out of bounds inside the 30. Well, we expected the long ball from Brady and the Patriots, and Trent Green in Kansas City plays that game too.
Well, one of the things the Patriots talked about, they have to be aware of Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez is inside. They got Kennison outside. The Chiefs want to take some shots down the field. Chiefs are very aware of the fact that the Patriots are concerned about Larry Johnson in the running game. They have to take some shots down the field to keep this defense honest.
And the play worth 42 yards for Green and Kennison. Larry Johnson, no hole up the middle, forges to the 25-yard line. Well, this New England Patriot defense, yes, who are they anyway? Well, Asante Samuel's been a starter. Hobbs is a rookie. Artrell Hawkins was picked up on November 16th. Eugene Wilson, only the 3rd year in the league for Wilson out of Illinois. He's become the veteran back there. He has to hold the pieces together.
Well, it's amazing how beat up they are in the back end. Obviously, the loss of Rodney Harrison has been significant to this defensive football team.
2nd and 8 from the 25, and a whistle, and false start the call against the Chiefs. Well, Trent Green, in his quiet
Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
wide receiver Kennison moving early. Dick Vermeil not happy with that call, especially at home. But back to Green in his quiet, unassuming manner. He's piled up the yardage, and it may surprise some of you that in the last 3 years his rating over 90, only quarterback in the league, the only one. Johnson caught in the backfield, just throws that tackler aside and fights his way to the 23 or maybe the 22 before Mike Vrabel can make the stop.
Well, the Patriots are going to have to figure out a way to tackle Larry Johnson. If you try and tackle this guy up high, you're wasting your time. Teddy Bruschi told us yesterday, hey, we got to do a good job as a defense tackling this guy. We can't arm tackle him. We got to gang tackle. We got to get bodies around this guy because he's so strong up top.
And that was Bruschi in the backfield who had a shot at him, but you saw Johnson just toss him aside. 3rd down and 6. Green underneath. There's Gonzalez. He's the go-to man, the leading receiver in Kansas City history. One of the greats at tight end. Only 2 other men in history have caught more passes than Gonzalez at tight end.
Well, this is what Gonzalez gives you, the versatility. He lines up in the slot for a big tight end. He runs such precise routes. Trent Green has such comfort level with him. You just watch him. He's working on a DB. He just works underneath the pick, comes underneath and makes the big catch for the first down.
It's his 55th catch of the year. That's 8 straight years that Gonzalez has caught at least 50. No one's ever done that at tight end. Johnson. Oh, he's one of the leaders in yards after contact, and he picks up about 3 after the initial hit from Richard Seymour, and then Eugene Wilson cleans up in the secondary for New England. Let's check the red zone for Kansas City, and of course they wear that color. 6 touchdowns the last 9 trips. But that pleases Coach Vermeil.
One of the reasons they've been so productive down the red zone is their ability to run the ball, and Larry Johnson's made a big difference for them.
Back to Johnson. That's that power sweep, and he's down close to the goal line. Knocked out of bounds by Artrell Hawkins around the 2-yard line. That'll be another first down.
One of the things the Chiefs want to do in the red zone is run the ball. We talked about that, but they like to run it to their left. They like to run it behind Willie Rofe, and also their tight end Jason Dunn. He comes in. That's 2 big bodies for them over there. You got Dunn over there as well as Gonzalez. They steal that edge, and again, Larry Johnson's going to be a handful for this Patriots defense today.
First and goal at the 2. Johnson doesn't get in as the Patriots stack it up inside. Going back to that previous play, the sweep run by Larry Johnson, of course, we've seen through the years how effectively Priest Holmes ran that play, and Holmes always so patient, waiting for all those big guys to get out and the various levels of blocking. Rich Gannon, as we talked to Larry Johnson, he said, I know I have to be a bit more patient. Looked as if he's learned that lesson. He didn't hurry.
He's learning. He learned from watching Priest Holmes do it so well, and that's something he's really tried to work on, being a more patient runner, letting his line get out in front to define the blocks.
With Gonzalez in motion, Johnson walks it in for the touchdown. And the Chiefs strike first, and it's that big Pro Bowl flavored line with Rofe and Waters, Wigman, Shields, and Welburn today, clearing the path for an easy score by Johnson. Already his 9th touchdown this year. This is his 4th start. Lawrence Tynes for the point after. Seven 0 Kansas City on their first possession. They overcame 2 penalties, going 66 yards, 9 plays. Johnson with a touchdown. Back in Kansas City as the Chiefs on their opening drive go 66 yards with Larry Johnson, who had 30 of those 66 yards on the ground. The payoff. Teddy Bruschi and the Patriots learning what others have around the league, that it takes more than one to get Larry Johnson down. Tynes kicking off to Tim Dwight, and Dwight in his career with 6 kick return touchdowns. Toppled at the 29-yard line by Benny Sapp. 8:57 remaining in the first quarter. Larry Johnson and the Chiefs in early celebration, 7-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. The Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by Bud Light, smooth and refreshing. Bud Light, great taste, great times.
Back at the home of the Chiefs, we remind you to visit CBS Sportsline tonight. A complete wrap-up, all the day's action. You can watch video highlights, get in-depth analysis from NFL experts Clark Judge and Pete Prisco, only on CBSSportsline.com. So Brady and the Pats start at the 29, down 7-0. Quick flat pass to Ben Watson, and he is covered for a loss. Can't get to the line of scrimmage as Patrick Surtain up from the corner to make the stop. Oh, there's Larry Johnson visiting the tailor shop.
Well, Dick, at the rate he's going, the equipment guys for the Chiefs might have a lot of jerseys ready for him today. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you jump out of your shoes, you break out of the jersey the way Johnson's been playing. A loss of a yard on the completion, 2nd and 11. The give is to Patrick Pass, and Pass runs to the 31. Lionel Dalton and John Browning, the two tackles, made the stop.
Well, I get the impression that the Patriots can be very limited today in the running game. I think that they'll throw the ball 40 or 45 times today because of the running back situation. Obviously, the loss of Corey Dillon and Kevin Falk is significant to the success of this running game. Brought two guys up from the practice squad, signed a guy from free agency, Heath Evans, coming over from Miami November 1st. There's no way these guys are completely comfortable with this offensive system.
Brady having to accommodate all these new faces out of the shotgun, 3rd and long. The quick throw is complete, and a first down to Watson as the tight end, who has 4.4 speed and weighs 255, quickly into the open. Eric Warfield was the defender.
Well, the one thing the Patriots will not do is make excuses. They play with the players they have available. They make do, and they somehow find a way to get it done. That's the beauty of this system here in New England.
First down out at the 41-yard line. Brady has been a super player in the first quarter all season, best in the league. Graham, the tight end, in motion. And it's a reverse to Tim Dwight, and he's got some running room and a blocker, but fighting off the block and making the stop was Eric Warfield. Good play by Warfield. There were two white jerseys in front of Dwight.
One of the things you have to do if you're struggling running the ball, you have to be creative. That's just what the Patriots do here. They bring the reverse with Dwight, a guy who's got a great deal of speed, a guy who's got a great history of running reverses. Did a lot of it, this same thing in San Diego. So this is what the Patriots are going to have to do today offensively. Be creative, find ways to move the ball down the field.
Brady and the Pats first visit in Kansas City territory to the 47. Brady, second receiver, and he's able to fire it in there to Ben Watson again. Wanted to go left and saw the coverage there. Went to his second option, lightning quick.
Well, the thing that's so great about Tom Brady, he starts games fast. He's so prepared. You look at these numbers, this is unbelievable. I've never started games like this in my career so fast. I mean, just the confidence he plays with, the completion percentage, everything he does well.
Started slowly in the first possession, but moving the ball and his team effectively, especially through the air on this drive. 2nd and 5. Heath Evans hitting the backfield. And the second tackler is Warfield, brings him down at the 40-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 3.
A lot of teams have struggled running the ball here in Arrowhead because of the crowd noise. Very difficult for the offensive lineman to get off on the ball, the snap count. Very difficult to hear in this environment. Be interesting to see today how the Patriots do with this crowd noise.
They break huddle on 3rd down and 3. Dwight to the right. Andre Davis to the left. And that's Deion Branch, the go-to receiver, in motion. Good protection. Branch, is it intercepted? The ruling is he's down at the 25. He did not hit the ground. Greg Wesley, off the deflection, has his 4th pick of the year. Oh, Kansas City early, and the fans love it at Arrowhead.
The Chiefs actually play combination coverage here, and the guy who makes the play is Sammy Knight. He's in position, forces the high throw to Tom Brady, and Greg Wesley's just sitting back in center field waiting to make that play.
Awkward as he hit the ground, but ruled it interception and not challenged by Bill Belichick. 25-yard line for Trent Green in the offense. Green to pump and fire, open, Sammy Parker. And a first down, just shy of the 40-yard line. Parker used more and more by Vermeil out of Oregon his 2nd season.
Well, this is what the Chiefs want to do. They want to get the running game going, and off that running game comes the play action. You just see Sammy Parker working up the sidelines, runs a nice comeback route. Great concentration on the sidelines for Sammy Knight.
That's 2 completions in Asante Samuel's area at that left corner. Parker's the fastest of the Chief wide receivers. On first down, back to Johnson. And he was patient there, looking for the hole before Mike Vrabel and Richard Seymour make the stop.
And one of the things the Chiefs do better offensively than just about anybody in football, they'll use so many personnel groupings, so many shifts, formations, and motions. Anything Al Saunders can do, the offensive coordinator, to put his players in a position to make plays. It's very difficult for defenses as well. You're looking at different people on the field in different positions. The matchups are something the Patriots are very, very concerned about here today against the Chiefs.
Strength to the right this time. Dante Hall in along with Kennison in the receiving pattern. It's Johnson to the 44-yard line, so they give a formation that hints of pass, and they run it instead, and Bruschi there with a stop. Teddy Bruschi, talking with him yesterday, you marvel at his story. That stroke after the Super Bowl a year ago, he said that he could not see out of the left side of either eye, plus the numbness on the left arm and left leg, and able to come back. And he said that no doctor had a game plan for him. He said it's never happened before. Someone has a stroke and then goes back and plays NFL football.
Played 67 plays in his first game back. It's amazing when you think about it.
On third down, Green down the middle, open is Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez with another catch in a contested area. First down, 35-yard line.
Well, the Patriots told us yesterday they don't want Tony Gonzalez running free through their defense. That's just what happened in this situation. They've really been burnt by athletic tight ends the last several weeks. Tony Gonzalez is one of the best in the league. He has the ability to stretch the field, runs great, precise routes, and he's one of Trent Green's favorite targets.
21 yards for Gonzalez. Green is 4 for 4 in this opening quarter. Looks to the sideline, and wide open is Kennison. Eddie Kennison gets a catch. Spreading the wealth is Trent Green.
Well, you talk about the success that the tight ends have had against this defense. You just look at the last couple weeks. Antonio Gates, Al-J. Crumpler, Dallas Clark, Randy McMichael, all accomplished tight ends that have really done some destruction, some devastation against this Patriots secondary.
Well, they knew New England, they'd have to do something to hold Gonzalez in check. They'd have to jam him at the line of scrimmage. You saw there he had a free cut into the middle of the field, and Green with a strike to hit him. Johnson. And that closed in a hurry as Bruschi filled the gap along with Ty Warren.
Well, when you look at the field, Dick, there's a lot of play that gets a lot of 3 college games have been played here. They play professional soccer on this field, and this time of the year it's a very difficult surface, especially for the running backs, to get your footing, to make the cuts, especially in the middle of the field between the hashes.
There is a forecast of rain, perhaps even heavy rain, and looking at that field, one hopes it holds off, because we could really have a mud bowl should it arrive. Green dumps it off underneath to Johnson, and Johnson powers his way to the 15, stopped with a good hit. Willie McGinnis denied the first down. A yard shy are the Kansas City Chiefs as we're to the 125 mark of the opening quarter. 7-0, the home team leads.
That's something that Larry Johnson's done a better job of the last couple of weeks, realizing the importance of the passing game and where he fits into that. You see him checking down over the ball, making a positive play for the Chiefs.
New formation here, 2 running backs, Johnson and Richardson with 2 tight ends, 3rd and 1. Johnson up the middle, has the first down easily, and look at him move the pile. He's 230 pounds. Had that record-breaking year as a senior at Penn State, where his father, Larry, is the defensive line coach, so the Johnson family have had a lot to celebrate this year with Penn State's great success, nearly unbeaten, and Dad going on to a big bowl game, and then Larry emerging with Priest Holmes' injury as perhaps we're looking at an elite talent. He's 150 yards at the start today of gaining 1,000 yards, and this is only his 4th start. Back to Johnson. Ooh, what a hit, and that was Bruschi and Vrabel coming up along with Vince Wilfork, the 325-pound nose tackle.
Well, just when you thought that the Chiefs were having their way with this defense, there's Vrabel and Bruschi in the middle. 2 stalwarts make a lot of plays for this defensive football team.
And the ball rests at the 15-yard line. First quarter comes to a close. Kansas City 7, New England nothing. You're watching the NFL on CBS, America's #1 network.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint Business. Sprint Business. Yes, you can. And by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card, the card that treats you right.
We open the second quarter in Kansas City, reminding you to log on to NFL.com. From now until the end of the season, keep track of the latest divisional and conference rankings. See where your favorite team ranks, and if they're in or out or on the playoff bubble, it's all on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. Newly acquired snapper Ed Perry was with Miami so many seasons, warming up, and Trent Green off play action goes to Gonzalez, and a flag flies as Gonzalez was cut off on the corner by Artrell Hawkins.
A little bit of a size matchup. You see Tony Gonzalez there.
Pass interference. Defense number 25. Flat foul. Automatic first down.
Well, if you're Bill Belichick, you hate to see this. Just Tony Gonzalez running a little flatten up. Artrell Hawkins is in good position. He just panics. Just got a little size matchup there. Just play the defense, play the coverage. Keep your hands off him. That's something a young corner has to figure out in a hurry, especially in this part of the field.
Hawkins failing to turn back and even look for the ball, so that made it all the more situation of jeopardy for him. So first and goal at the 4 as Kansas City attempts to add to that 7-0 early lead. He looked for Richardson in the flat. Now throws into the end zone to Gonzalez. Did he get it? No, it was trapped. Surprisingly, with all of his catches this year, coming in with 54 and already a couple of big ones in this game, Gonzalez has only 1 touchdown this year.
Well, this is the guy they got to be aware of in the red zone, Tony Gonzalez. Actually, Trent Green has Tony Richardson in the flat early. Gonzalez just fighting and clawing his way in the back. Tries to find a way to get open. Actually, a catch that you think Tony Gonzalez should make. Lone away, safe throw from Trent Green.
What a replay. He looked like one of those buyers at the Thanksgiving Day after sales. Oh, my. Ty Warren denying Larry Johnson on that play. And Warren at 300 pounds in his third year, a #1 pick from Texas A&M, a big stop for him.
Well, they're going to do everything they can today to bang around Tony Gonzalez, jam him up, choke him at the line of scrimmage, do everything they can. They do not want to give him free releases, something that all tight ends want, a free release to get out in the route. Patriots are not going to let that happen today with Tony Gonzalez.
That was the kind of tackle that can force a turnover, and it's interesting that this defense for New England has not forced a single turnover in the red zone this season. Down to 1 second on the play clock. Green throws incomplete to Gonzalez. Desperation trying to dump it off in the flat, and Willie McGinnis was the man powering into Green's helmet.
That's something that's been hurting from this Patriots defense is the lack of pass rush. Part of that is move Rabel back inside into the middle. Willie McGinnis, though, still the veteran guy on the edge. Again, you watch him jam Gonzalez. He doesn't want to give him the free release. That delays his rush to the quarterback. Tony sneaks out late.
Lawrence Tynes in to try a 25-yard field goal. He's missed only 4 of 22 all season. And the Chiefs add 3, but for the Patriots, a good goal line stand. Green and KC had it first and goal at the 4 and denied the touchdown. It's 10-0 Kansas City. Dick Vermeil with a smile and a wink. Couldn't plant it much better, although he would have taken a touchdown instead of a field goal, but 2 long drives, and this second score started by the Wesley interception. Now Tynes to kick it off to Tim Dwight. Another low kick toward the sideline. Dwight at the 10. Reverses and battles to the 25-yard line, and a flag flies. Rich Scanlon, a free agent a year ago from Syracuse and a special teams star for Kansas City, made the tackle. Referee Bill Vinovich in his 5th year, lives in San Diego, a certified public accountant.
There's no foul on the play. Timeout.
So the CPA got out the eraser and just took care of it, and on we go to a commercial. A reminder, enjoy on Wednesday on CBS Criminal Minds, very popular, America's #1 network, one of the many hit shows. Wednesday, CBS. Brady and the Patriots from the 25. The quick out is incomplete, intended for Deion Branch, but looked as if Brady purposely threw that one over his head. There was good coverage by Patrick Surtain, a ball hawk and one of the big acquisitions in the offseason for Kansas City after a couple of Pro Bowl years and 29 interceptions in Miami. Draw play to Heath Evans, and he is belted at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard. Benny Sapp, 190 pounds, out of northern Iowa, defensive back. He was up there quickly, wasn't he?
Well, you get the idea that Tom Brady's going to have a career day. I mean, it's a frustrating situation when you don't have your top 2 backs. You have a bunch of receivers out. Tom Brady's going to have to do make a lot of big plays in this game for New England to have a chance.
3rd and 9. Brady surveying the defense. Great protection. Now it breaks down. Intercepted again by Wesley. Another overthrow. Wesley down the sidelines to the 30-yard line. And better than that, they're going to mark it to the 25. So that's 2 passes intended for Deion Branch, both high, tipped right into the arms of Wesley. A couple of gifts for Wesley, and 5 interceptions now on the season.
Well, you look at Tom Brady's demeanor. Looks like there's a little indecision in his game right now. Actually changes the play at the line of scrimmage to a maximum protection, sends 3 guys out. Chiefs actually drop guys in coverage. He's got pretty good protection, trying to find Troy Brown in the slot. Just misses him high. Again, there's Wesley just sitting there waiting for a free one.
The return to the 25 of the Patriots by Wesley. 23-yard return. Fake to Johnson. Green. Complete to Gonzalez. Inside the 10.
Well, here's a situation with Gonzalez. We talked about it, not letting this guy at the line of scrimmage. Patriots got to do a better job of this. He just works up the seam. This is a route that Trent Green likes to throw. He likes Gonzalez up the seam, the inside seam, where Gonzalez is a big target for Trent Green.
Well, you mentioned earlier the other top tight ends in the league. Many of them have had good days against this weakened defense with all its injuries, and Gonzalez, being perhaps the best of the lot, has had a big first half already. Now it's Johnson, the 1-2 punch. And Johnson, refusing to go down, took half the Patriot defense to finally straighten him about the 5-yard line. Ty Warren spearheading the charge.
Well, you talk about tight ends working against this Patriots defense, and we can't talk about it enough. The loss of Rodney Harrison, their playmaker, their leader, the guy that really would cover tight ends. The intimidation factor from Rodney Harrison in the back end, and that's something this defense is surely missing right now.
2nd and goal at about the 4.5. Green 7 for 9 passing and 122 yards in this first half. A lot of conversation. The toss to Johnson. Big block on the edge. And Johnson is stopped at the 2 by Monty Beisel, a former Kansas City Chief. Unrestricted free agent pickup by New England this year.
Again, we can't talk enough about Willie Rofe being back and Dunn on the edge, running to the left, getting Brian Waters out in front. These are their most athletic guys up front for them. You watch both these guys. Tony Gonzalez gets a good block on the edge. Willie Roaf out in front. And here comes Larry Johnson right up the middle.
3rd and goal at the 2. Fake to Johnson. Green to the end zone. Gonzalez incomplete. That's a play as basketball rebounding play, but Larry Izzo, an extra linebacker, was there to fight with Gonzalez and bat it away.
Well, that's a one-man route. They completely sell the run action. The only one out in the route's Tony Gonzalez. Patriots do a good job. Vrabel, it's hard to fool him. You see Larry Izzo getting a hand in there as well.
It took 2 defenders to deny Gonzalez. He was going to catch that ball had not Izzo come in as a second wave and bat it free.
That's a play. You either throw it there or you throw it out of the back of the end zone. Only one option on that play.
So on his times for a 20-yard field goal attempt. And so 2 Greg Wesley interceptions lead to a pair of Kansas City field goals. It's 13-0. Oh, we can identify with this. Stupid human tricks on the Late Show with Dave. We've got some guys on our CBS crew that could be invited to that. Thursday, Oprah Winfrey joins Dave. A Late Show everyone will be talking about. Dave's all new all this week on America's #1 network. Tom Brady so very accurate in the last half dozen games, only 3 picks, but 2 in the first half, both on overthrows today. Tynes spins this one short. Dwight at the 13. Hit at the 30 and dropped at the 32. So here in Kansas City, we're in the second quarter. 10.5 minutes remain, and KC up 13-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Cisco, changing the way people work, live, play, and learn. Innovation powered by Cisco. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
The X factor, of course, Dante Hall. He hasn't had a chance. New England with its patchwork team. Dillon's not here. Falk is out. Givens, the wide receiver. Johnson, the wide receiver, not here. Both starting tackles are injured. Tom Brady trying to hold the pieces together. Down 13-0. Screens it to the tight end, Daniel Graham, and Graham up the sidelines and into Kansas City territory at the 46-yard line. Well, Armin Catan with a great report on Steve and Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick saying, I learned from my dad, hold my emotions in. That carries over, doesn't it, Armin?
Well, it sure does. Just watching Tom Brady's emotions after that second interception, Dick, kept him in check, which he said he really didn't do earlier in the season. A lot of frustration pouring out in practices and in games to the point where he even scared some of his teammates, and Deion Branch had to say, Tom, you're our leader. More guys see you down, the more guys are going to be down. Tom said, I become very conscious of my body language, and he was very good there, Dick. Back to you.
That's right, Armin. He's the leader of this team. Evans cutting back and to the 43-yard line, a short gain before Eric Warfield can make the stop. Well, you know that, Rich Gannon. I mean, put yourself in Brady's shoes as you have been there as the most valuable player in this league. You've got to, even when it really hurts inside, you got to swallow.
Well, it's easy to lead when things are going well, but the thing that Tom Brady does so well is he leads even when things aren't going so well, and that's the thing that I see more and more from him. Using the pass, he just go out and let his play and his way he practiced, the way he prepared, dictate it. Now he feels like he needs to be more of a vocal leader in that locker room.
2nd and 6, and Brady fires quickly to Branch. And he's able to duck inside the 40-yard line where Warfield makes yet another tackle. First half here for Brady. Hit by Jared Allen and crushed on that attempt. And then high on this one to Branch to Wesley. And that same combination again. Intended for Branch. Wesley with an easy carom interception. The 2 picks led to 2 field goals. So Brady and the Patriots stay within 2 touchdowns of the lead. Crowd rises with plenty of noise on 3rd and 3. Dwight using his speed to get outside and inside the 35-yard line and a first down. Surtain bumps him out of bounds. So when you're limited in running backs and you have only 3 and none of them are your stars, Dillon and Falk are out, you go to the speed. Tim Dwight, a wide receiver.
Again, talking about creative ways to try and make first downs, and that's going to be the job of the play caller today for the Patriots. It's going to be tough. They're limited. You got your backs are not playing, Dillon and Falk. You got receivers. Evans is out. You got Bethel Johnson not playing. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to find ways to get guys in position to make plays.
In fact, Dwight with 17 yards rushing leads the team. On first down, Brady throwing long and out of bounds, intended for Andre Davis. Let's check on action elsewhere. To New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, elsewhere in this case is Washington. LaDainian Tomlinson from a yard out. His 15th rushing touchdown, his 17th overall this season. The Chargers grab a 7-3 lead on the Redskins. 10.5 to play in the first half. Dick and Rich.
All right, thanks, Greg. And as you can see, Kansas City battling San Diego, both at 6 and 4 behind front-running Denver in the AFC West. Denver with that big win at Dallas on Thanksgiving. Brady backing off, trying to be heard. He'll use the hand signals and has to call time. And that's a victory for the crowd. They applaud themselves. Timeout, 13-0 Chiefs. Couple of stints at defensive coordinator for Gunther Cunningham, also the head coach here. Fiery coach. And he's asking his defense to put a stop on Brady. 13-0 Kansas City leads at 2nd and 10. Chiefs line up defensively with Kansas City watching Brady at the 34. Brady stepping away from pressure, throws on the run, and wide open is Troy Brown. And the veteran receiver has his 500th career catch, number 2 all-time, behind Stanley Morgan in New England history. And that's a big one down to the 10-yard line.
Well, you watch Tom Brady. He's very nimble in the pocket. See him step up. He sees the rush, finds Brown downfield. Thing that he does so well, Tom Brady, he makes all the calls at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of quarterbacks do that in National Football League. He makes all the protection calls. He's helping his center, Russ Holstein, out, making those calls. It's a lot for him to do. He's got enough things to worry about, let alone making all the calls up front for that offensive line.
Patriots threatening to get right back in this game, dominated by Kansas City. Patrick Pass runs out of room. Derek Johnson, that's that rookie #1 draft pick out of the University of Texas. And it reminds you, Derek, the first name of the great Derek Thomas, who starred here so many all-pro seasons. New England 6 for 11 inside the 20-yard line this season.
Well, they've improved in the red zone. They've also improved stopping the run. Have not allowed a 100-yard rush in their last 17 outings. Gunther Cunningham believes it's all about attitude with this defense.
On second down, Brady into the flat, incomplete, intended for Deion Branch, and quick move by the veteran Sammy Knight. And they really feel this has been a terrific acquisition to the deep defense here in Kansas City. From Miami comes Knight.
Well, Sammy Knight is always around the action. You know, since '97, no NFL player has recorded more takeaways than Sammy Knight. They signed him from Miami. Dick Vermeil told us this guy's been a great addition. He's a real pro. He works at it. He studies the game. He's been great in that back end. He makes all the calls. He's actually made Greg Wesley, their free safety, the guy that plays next to him, a much better player.
3rd and goal. Brady shotgun. Has to call time again. So the crowd continues to roar. 6:59 left in the opening half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you? And by Subway Restaurants. Try the fresh toasted chicken and bacon ranch sandwich. Subway, eat fresh.
Arrowhead Stadium, where they see a lot of red, and they're rooting for their defense on a big play here. 3rd and goal from the 11 as the Patriots trailing 13-0. Need to gather something out of this drive, and for New England fans, a touchdown. Confusion in the deep defense for Kansas City. Brady throws down the middle, incomplete, intended for Benjamin Watson. And Brady drops his head as he walks to the sidelines, and the field goal unit comes on.
A little confusion. The Chiefs are going to give him a lot of different looks today. Gunther Cunningham loves to blitz, especially in this part of the field. Shows him a couple different looks that confuses Tom Brady. Tom Brady does the next best thing, throws it out of the end zone.
Another pass thrown tall. You could see Brady yelling at himself as he came off the field. So here's the incredible Adam Vinatieri, their great clutch kicker, just inside the 20. So it could be a 29-yard attempt, and New England is on the board. 6:52 left in this first half. Kansas City by 10. A reminder, tomorrow on CBS, a member of the CSI team gets busted in a powerful new episode. You'll have to see it to believe it. Monday's #1 show, CSI Miami, on America's #1 network, CBS. 13-3, and from the end zone, Dante Hall, the deep man, as Vinatieri roots it high, and it plops into Hall's mitts at the 7. He has a seam. And brought down 32. 2 flags fly with it. Don Davis, special team star who grew up and went to high school just 20 miles here from Kansas City in Olathe, made the stop.
Here in the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 59. 10-yard penalty, Kansas City keeps the ball, first down.
Well, it's special coming to all the NFL stadia, but there is something unique about Kansas City.
Listen up, it's the sounds of the game! Woo-hoo! Patriot bone.
Go, Chiefs, go! Number 1.
Larry Johnson sprinting up the middle and through the secondary to the 35-yard line. Michael Stone, the safety, brought him down.
When you look at this Chief offense, you get the idea that Wiggman, Shields, and Waters up front for the Chiefs are winning that battle against Vince Wilfork in the middle there. They're just running right downhill with Larry Johnson.
You see on Stat Tracks, 56 yards now for Larry Johnson as he goes for another 100-yard day, which he has accomplished in each of his previous 3 starts in lieu of Priest Holmes. Sammy Parker, the speedster in motion, back to Johnson. Big hole again. Nearly 10 more for Johnson. And that offensive line ripping open gaps in that New England defense, but this one may have involved an illegal hold.
The Chiefs showing their hand early. We're going to feature Larry Johnson early and often today to get this running game going.
There's no foul on the play.
Now let's take a look at just the kind of running room that Larry Johnson enjoys. It's more than a bellyful.
Well, you watch these guys up front, Will Shields, and Wiggman and Waters. I mean, those 3 guys have been together for a long time, a lot of consecutive starts, and these guys have a certain comfort level. They've opened up a lot of holes over the years for a lot of great Chief backs.
Just about a foot shy of a first down, second down. Patched up Larry Johnson. Certainly hasn't slowed it, has it? Johnson stutters and picks his way for a first down out across the 45, and we'll go to New York in this update.
All right, Dick, in Washington, Redskins regain the lead. Mark Brunell to Santana Moss, 22 yards. Moss's first receiving touchdown in more than a month. It gets the Redskins back on top. 10-7, under 5.5 to play in the first half.
And you see from the standings, thank you, Greg, that Washington in desperate sorts after the loss last week in the final seconds at 5-5, trying to beat San Diego today. At the 47, first down, Trent Green and the Chiefs. 4:45 left in the half. Green deep down the middle. Sammy Parker. And Parker a first down at the 33. Plenty of action elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL. Let's go right back to Greg.
All right, Dick, this time in Cincinnati, where the Bengals have scored the first touchdown of the day. Rudy Johnson from 6 yards out follows his blocking nicely and finds the corner of the end zone. It's 10-0 Bengals over the Baltimore Ravens as they come up on 7 minutes to play in the half.
And it's Greg, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh battling in the AFC North, and that confrontation is coming up soon in the Steel City. They'll be battling perhaps for first place next week. We'll be there. Fake to Johnson. Green again. Down the middle. Open again. To Sammy Parker. And they're ripping up the defense in the middle of the field. Fast and furious the action, Greg Gumbel.
One more time, Dick, in Minnesota. Brad Johnson finds Marcus Robinson 15 yards in the touchdown. And the Vikings with a 10-0 lead on Cleveland as they approach 4 minutes to play in the first half. Dick and Rich, back to you.
All right, thank you, Greg. And Minnesota is trying to stay within those surprising Chicago Bears. Here in Kansas City with 3:20 remaining in the half. Kansas City driving, leading by 10. The pump fake, and then Green has to swallow it as Vince Wilfork will be credited with a sack. Or did he get enough yards to deny the sack? Might have reached the line of scrimmage.
Well, Trent Green looks surprised here. They bring the blitz off the edge. Tries to pop up and throw the hot route to Tony Gonzalez. Don't believe he was actually looking. Trent Green is forced to tuck it away. Try and get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he did do that. Denies Wilfork the sack. Officially a gain of a yard for Green. Out of the spread. Give to Johnson. And well covered by Richard Seymour with help from Bruschi. What a player this Seymour is, and he missed 4 games. And with all the injuries that the New England team has had to overcome, that was one of the biggest, losing Seymour, regarded as one of the top defensive linemen in all of the NFL.
Well, they missed his production, and it's no coincidence. We talked about it in the open where he comes back and they start playing better against the run. But they also need to get him going, rushing the passer and creating sacks and turnovers, something that's surely been missing from this defense.
There's the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City. Chiefs threatening to score more with a 10-point lead. Fourth visit in the red zone for Kansas City. You don't measure success with field goals. It's a touchdown category, and Dick Vermeil doesn't want another 3. But here's a tough call for Green. 3rd and 9 from the 15. Protected well. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Knocked away from Ellis Hobbs and intended for Eddie Kennison.
That's pretty good coverage by Ellis Hobbs. Trent Green tries to give him a chance in the back corner of the end zone. Just too good a coverage by Hobbs. He's there. He gets that hand up the last second. Trent trying to give Eddie Kennison a back shoulder throw, trying to surprise Ellis Hobbs. So he's there for the play.
So Tynes, a busy man here in the second quarter. His 3rd field goal attempt. This one a 33-yard effort. Good job of holding by Dustin Colquitt, the punter. Dick Vermeil's Chiefs lead again by 13. Reminder coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Join Greg and Dan, Shannon, Boomer. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. The early games today coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Tynes kicks, and Tim Dwight receives at the 7-yard line. And runs out of territory at the 24 as Rich Scanlon, another special teams tackle.
Well, this Patriots defense is doing their part. Tom Brady's turned it over twice, giving the Kansas City offense a short field. And this is a defense that's not short on confidence. They have a lot of experience, a lot of pride. They're going to continue to fight, continue to battle. Look at the big 3rd down. This defense is doing their part to keep them in the game.
That field shrinking down inside the 10, and that back defense so limited with all the injuries, able to play A tougher defense. Now Brady with only one timeout remaining, looking long, and it is out of the field of play, intended for Deion Branch. Branch, who has 55 catches this year to lead the Patriots. The MVP, of course, in the Super Bowl, and his confidence and maturity, we've watched it grow through the last 4 seasons since he was a rookie out of Louisville. He says his soccer training as an outstanding player in Albany, Georgia, has really helped him as a player, his cuts and his footwork. Brady needs to have him grab some hands on a long play. Down the middle, it's complete to Andre Davis. And Davis, the ex-Cleveland Brown, is to the 48-yard line and a first down.
With just one timeout, Brady's going to need to get these guys at the line of scrimmage. Call plays, be efficient with the time.
118, 117, 23 yards for Davis, who had a big play, 60-yard touchdown against New Orleans last weekend. Brady, incomplete, intended for Patrick pass. He wanted a hold. Kavika Mitchell was on the coverage, the middle linebacker.
I don't know if there's anybody in football that's better than the 2-minute situation than Tom Brady. He's been through a bunch of them. He usually finds a way to make completions and make the big throw, but he does such a great job managing the situations. A minute 4 with just one timeout. Tom is very, very aware of what's going on around him.
Brady 7 for 17 in the half, and the 2 interceptions. Blitz, and they throw a screen incomplete, and there was no one there, just 2 linemen, as Patrick Pass was eliminated by someone on the Kansas City side, and Brady wanted a hold.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Patriots. They had just what they wanted. They bring the blitz to Tom Brady's right. They have a screen going out the back door to the left. You see it here. You watch Patrick pass. He gets caught up inside. He can't get out in the screen. And that's really the difference in that particular play.
Brady hit from behind by Jared Allen. And Allen has his 8th sack of the year. Kansas City hasn't called timeout yet as the punting team comes on now. Time called with 45 seconds.
Well, Jared Allen told us yesterday, if you put yourself around the ball, good things will happen. Just beats Kisher up the field. Makes a shoestring tackle on Tom Brady.
He was a roper in the rodeo as a kid. He roped up the quarterback on that play. Jared Allen out of Idaho State, played for the Bengals, Division I AA. He's got a radio show now, a TV show in town. He's a star, but he's a down-to-earth, free spirit, that's to be certain. Dante Hall, they kick away from him and out of bounds. And so Kansas City with 51 seconds left will start from around. We'll see how they mark it around their 15-yard line. They take pictures for the scoreboard video at the start of the season. Well, here's Allen's take. Smile, Jared.
Oh, my.
Yes, sir. He said, you know, if I didn't make it in the NFL, I'm serious. I was going to go back to the rodeo. I want to try bulldogging. Well, he's the perfect high motor personality for that defensive end position, and he's made a couple of big hits already in this first half.
Yeah, he's done it all season. He's 40 quarterback pressures. The guy does not take plays off.
From the 14, Green, he has 2 timeouts left. Larry Johnson is the guest in this situation, deep in their own end, and there it is to Johnson. And he storms out to the 25, close to another first down before Rabel can make the tackle, and timeout is called by Kansas City.
Well, I like that. You call it. Give yourself a conservative call, a screener draw on first down to get the 2-minute drive going. See how you do with that.
Meanwhile, Larry Johnson's totals on the ground now 79 yards. Apparently on his way to a 4th consecutive 100-yard rushing game. He told us something interesting about this young guy. He has a very expensive automobile, but he has personalized it with throwback jerseys as the upholstery. So there are jerseys of Gale Sayers and Lance Allworth and Earl Campbell and Night Train Lane. And then we said, but how about the choice? What jersey's on the driver's seat?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, here's a guy who respects the history of the game. You know, you had Larry Zonka sitting out there on the driver's seat. A lot of similarities when you watch these two guys run. Big, powerful, bruising back, and Larry Zonka was just that for the Dolphins.
He's thinking about using your jersey back where you have that tire repair kit in the trunk. On first down. Green has to throw it away, and his receiver had fallen. Larry Johnson cutting over the middle, had tripped, and Green just threw in the area. Clock now shows 41 seconds.
And now you got to be smart here if you're Kansas City with the timeout situation, and certainly the down and distance. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kansas City run it in this situation.
With a 16-3 lead, and not wanting to tempt fate and give the Patriots a chance at an interception here in the final seconds of the half. Dante Hall is in the game in motion, and Green will throw. It's a screen to Johnson. Look at him cut back, and look at him pick up speed and powers to the 45-yard line, and timeout called.
Well, that's why I don't call plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. The next best thing, a conservative screen, and this is something that Larry Johnson has gotten better with each week. Being patient, letting his linemen get out in front. He's a hard guy to bring down, especially when he gets back into the secondary.
30 yards on the play, and wearing that number 27, he is remindful of Eddie George, the great Tennessee running back. And in fact, George was a favorite of Larry Johnson's growing up, and he said, I always felt like I ran upright and I had the same size and looked a little bit like George, and he does remind you, don't he?
Yeah, the upright running style, the long strider, very physical, really like a freight train at the end of his runs, and grew up admiring Eddie George. Now the Chiefs put themselves in a pretty good situation here.
There's the target line for Tynes, a 35-yard line, so Kansas City needs another 10-yard pickup and use their final timeout, 28 seconds. Meanwhile, Larry Johnson's totals this first half, 79 rushing, 38 receiving. He's contributed 117, as you can see, and that's more than the entire New England offense. Lots of time for Green. Complete, but a flag is down in the secondary. It's complete to Tony Gonzalez at the 30-yard line. And the flag in an area where you would suspect it's against New England. Let's see.
Illegal contact. Defense number 26. Penalties declined. Result of the play. First down.
Eugene Wilson guilty of the call. And a first down counts as Gonzalez another catch. Bill Belichick, he walked into the room and we chatted last night. He had weariness written all over his face. A incredible challenge to lose your father and have to prepare for an NFL game all in 1 week. And Kansas City hardly kind in their play so far. Tony Richardson, a rare call for him, only his 4th carry all season. Fans booing as that chews up time, and now Green is going to have to down the ball and bring out the field goal unit. There it is, stops the clock with 7 seconds. And here comes Tynes, and this is some quarter for Tynes. If he makes this, he will have kicked 4 field goals in 1 quarter. That's tough to do.
One of the big things you see today from this Chiefs offense, they're doing a better job protecting Trent Green. He's taken a lot of hits this season, and Dick Vermeil told us with the return of Willie Rofe, we will do a better job in the protection game. We'll do a better job keeping Trent Green off the ground, and that's really been the difference in this first half for the Chiefs.
47 yards for Tynes. It's straight, and it's long enough. 4 for 4 for Tynes. 25 yards, 29 yards, 33, and now 47 to give the Chiefs a 2-touchdown plus lead. see Ed Perry, the snapper. It's somewhat of a rarity, although he's done it for many years. He's a left-handed snapper, and that's not many of those around. Doesn't matter much, they say, for the field goals, but they say it has made a difference for the punting game.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And talked to special teams coach Frank Gans Jr. about that. And he said it's a left-handed snapper. When the ball comes back to punter Dustin Colquitt, the spin and the rotation, the ball lands, the laces just the way he wants it in his hand, makes it easier for him to kick. And the end result, their get-off time has been much quicker since Ed Perry's arrived.
And we wondered out loud, how many have kicked 4 field goals in a quarter? Well, not many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now the 7th is Lawrence Tynes. The first to do it was Garo Yepremian, and the last Jeff Wilkins at St. Louis. Well, that was a bonus 3 for the Chiefs, and now an onside kick, and it's covered well by Larry Izzo at the 45-yard line with 1 second remaining. That's an interesting call. And the time runs out now, the end of the opening half. And while Dick Vermeil's team can't be happy about all the field goals, they have to be pleased with the score. They dominated in this first half. Let's go to Armin.
Coach, you said you thought your team would play well. They certainly have, but I imagine like a few more points than all those field goals.
On the first interception we've got there, all our headsets, phones all went down. We had no communication with the quarterback from the box, and it was a real scramble. That's no excuse. We still should score. But other than that, hey, they're a good football team. You know, and you're not going to score every time you get down there. But right now, we're playing really good on defense, and if we can not turn the ball over offensively, be efficient, we'll be okay.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Now you get some material from Vermeil. Remember, he was a broadcaster for 15 years. That's the end of the half. 19-3 Kansas City. We'll be back. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Yes, you can.
Well, Bill Belichick told us yesterday he's absolutely frustrated by the number of yards being given up by his defense. Look at that, 285 in the first half. They're second to last in the league in being generous opposing yards allowed, and the score reflects that. 19-3 Kansas City.
Well, they're giving up the 2 turnovers that hurt them, but the defense has been on the field way too much. And the thing that really surprises me about this Patriots defense, Bill Belichick does as good a job as anybody making a team one-dimensional. They'll take away their strength, and something they've not done today is take away Larry Johnson. And this guy's had a field day against this Patriots defense. Running inside, running outside. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes along. This guy's waited patiently for this opportunity, and he's making the most of it. They're playing with a great deal of confidence up front in that offensive line. Will Shields, Wiggman, and Waters, the inside guys, have really made a difference. And you look at where they've made their mark. They like to run on the left side, but they're running right at the middle of this defense. Right at the heart and soul of this defense, right at Vince Wilfork, Vrabel, and Brucey, really the strength of that Patriots defense. So that's really been the difference in this football game so far.
And you're watching this game from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City on HD TV. Well, some of the fans here in Kansas City were upset when Carl Peterson selected Larry Johnson, used a #1 draft pick 3 years ago, and now that certainly has paid off. Looking to the future with the injury to Priest Holmes, Johnson more than taking over. Kick starts the second half, and Dante Hall able to manage to the 28-yard line. Armin?
Well, a very short, simple address by Bill Belichick to his team at halftime. He called them together and said, gentlemen, I need your best football, and I need it one play at a time. If you can handle that, if you can do it that way, one play at a time, I guarantee you we will be in this game at the end. Dick?
All right, thank you, Armin. And Belichick, that patience that he talked about in the pregame show, the fine piece by Armin Catan, taught by his father, Steve. Hide your emotions, be patient. Don't let them see you upset your players. On first down, Larry Johnson behind Green. Green to throw. Second option is underneath, and it's complete to Eddie Kennison, and a first down, good for 12 yards. Well, let's check the numbers. Fantasy players. And in our notebook in the first half, Brady numbers down, especially with the 2 interceptions, and Green having 205 yards. That'll raise some applause. Johnson The Larry Johnson fans have to love what he's accomplished. Gonzalez with 47 yards. Johnson 38 receiving on Deion Branch, the leading pass catcher for New England. Quiet. Johnson's first carry of the second half. He looking for room and finally burrows for a couple of yards. And he's learned his lesson. He told us it's not his nature to be patient. He wouldn't admit that he runs angry. Dick Vermeil called him he runs angry, which means he runs aggressively. And Johnson said, yeah, that's true. My dad wanted me to be a linebacker, and I like to run the ball as if I'm hitting people.
Well, Dick told us he angered teammates up at training camp because of the way he practiced. He doesn't discriminate. He runs hard against everybody, even if it's his own teammates in practice.
Second down and 6. He got 4 yards out of nothing on that first down carry. Green sacked for the first time today. Down at the 36-yard line is Ty Warren and Richard Seymour share the sack.
Well, this is what this team needs. They need some more push, some more effort up front, and that's just what they get here. Warren actually gets double. He just fights through the double. That's two pretty good guys. Will Shields in particular, perennial Pro Bowl, giving up that sack.
3rd and 14 from the 36.
Seymour with 2 sacks this year and losing 4 games because of the injury. Now Green, this is an unusual situation for him in the game. 3rd and 14. Over the middle, complete to Parker. Bumped down quickly by Asante Samuel, short of the first down.
This is just what New England wanted. They wanted to come out, have a 3 and out, play good defense, settle in, and give their opportunities, their offense some opportunities with some positive field position. Hopefully get that with a return from Tim Dwight.
Dustin Colquitt comes in, his first punt of the game. The left-footed rookie from Tennessee, out of the Colquitt clan that have kicked footballs for 3 generations. Tim Dwight is deep. High wobbler. Dwight calls for a fair catch, lets it bounce, and it's downed at the 20-yard line by Sammy Knight. Patriots with the ball when we return to Kansas City. So the Patriots get their first opportunity of the second half. Bill Belichick, his challenge is this is where championship teams announce their intention late, and so have the Patriots after Thanksgiving, winning 17 of their last 18 after the holiday. But they're down 19-3 as Brady goes to work. Gives to Heath Evans. Out to the 25 and a gain of 3 before Carlos Hall, the ex-Titan, makes a tackle. Best road record after October. You can even go before Thanksgiving and you see the New England Patriots on their way to Super Bowls are 16-3.
We realize that's when you earn your money, in the month of November and December here in the National Football League.
On 2nd and 7 with Dwight in motion. Over the middle, incomplete. Fourier. And it was Derek Johnson, the rookie linebacker, defending.
That's 3 or 4 times today now. Tom Brady's been high with throws. And from a quarterback's perspective, when I look at that, I say he's not quite sure of the people around him. It's not quite sure of his routes. And the guys that are running them, they haven't worked a lot together. Some of these guys have been injured, haven't had a lot of practice time, especially at the running back and receiver position.
Brady hitting on only 1 of his last 7 attempts. Needs a pass completion here on 3rd and 7. Incomplete through the hands of his target, Christian Fourier. Brady wanted a call.
I think he's disappointed with Patrick Pass, expecting him maybe to come back out of that cut, but that's the thing that Brady told us. He said, I got a lot of young guys playing in that back end. If they're not sure in the huddle, I want them to ask me. I don't want them to go out there not sure what to do. It makes my job more difficult.
Josh Miller, who is 2nd in the NFL with a 46.5 average this year. Another left-footed punter, and he booms one toward Dante Hall. 22-yard line, Hall. And he He tiptoes and then steps out of bounds. And you saw it with a man covering that denied Hall the corner, Mike Vrabel.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40. K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And by Hummer, check out the new H3. Hummer, like nothing else.
Nine weeks into the TV season, only one team remains unbeaten. More people turn to CBS than any other network for the best dramas, the top comedies, the #1 news magazine, the #1 reality show, the #1 series on television this Thanksgiving weekend. We thank you for making CBS America's #1 network. Here's our #1 runner of the early games today, Larry Johnson, teaming with the #1 passer, Trent Green. And Vrabel and Bruschi collaborate on the tackle. Boomer on San Diego. They could go 10-6, and that won't get them in the playoffs. I think there's a lot of agreement in that, a very contentious AFC. Second best team, Dan, Seattle. One of the best running attacks and a great defense. We presume Indy being the #1 team. Colts offense, best ever, Boomer. No, got to go with the '99 Rams because they went on to win the Super Bowl. Colts is that challenge ahead. Green. Incomplete. Good coverage on Eddie Kennison. Now a late flag. Ellis Hobbs was on the cover. And now another flag thrown as the Patriots appeal.
Pass interference. Defense number 26. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Well, just Eddie Kennison coming in motion, working on the rookie Ellis Hobbs. Does a nice job jamming him there, but it's at the end where the problem comes. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, just making a play, reaches his hand up, and again, that flag comes in late. Dick, I just don't see it there.
Nor did Hobbs.
Guy trying to make a play. It's hard enough.
First down at the 47 on the penalty. Fake to Johnson. Going long and wide open is Dante Hall. And Hall has a touchdown.
Well, one of the things you got to expect when you see number 82 Dante Hall in the game is a big down the field shot. This is what the Chiefs like to do. They like to get him isolated, matched up, and they like to take shots down the field. Ellis Hobbs, look at his eyes are in the backfield. Not expecting Dante Hall to take that to the back corner. Perfect example of a young corner with his eyes in the backfield on the cornerback rather than watching the receiver.
Tynes for the extra point. And on a 52-yard connection, Trent Green, the speedy Dante Hall. The Chiefs open up a 26-3 advantage. Hall, the X factor, with his second touchdown reception this year to go with a 96-yard kickoff return touchdown against Philadelphia. And that opens up the lead for the home team, 26-3. And what has already been a horrendous week for Bill Belichick, it's even worse today as Tim Dwight from the goal line battles his way across the 30-yard line. Chris Horn, the tackler. Timeout at Arrowhead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sony. Transform the way you watch football with Sony, the world's greatest high-definition television. And by Cadillac, introducing the new 2006 DTS. Cadillac Breakthrough.
And welcome back to Kansas City with producer Mark Wolf, director Bob Fishman, Dick Enberg, Rich Gannon sitting in for Dan Deerdorf, and Armin Katayan down on the field as the Patriots have a big hole out of which to dig. Trailing now with 10:22 left in the third quarter, 26-3. Brady under pressure, hit and dropped at the 23-yard line. It was Sammy Knight on a safety blitz with Eric Hicks assisting.
Well, they bring the strong safety off the edge. You look at Heath Evans, he just doesn't even block him. And then we talked about this earlier, the uncertainty with a new player in the lineup, especially when it comes to protections. That's something Tom Brady's counting on. Heath Evans just misses an easy blitz pickup right in front of him.
Second sack for Knight as a new member of the Kansas City secondary. Rain is falling now at Arrowhead. Here's the screen to Heath Evans. And he's tackled from behind at the 32-yard line by John Browning. And we go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, in Cincinnati, Carson Palmer having himself a heck of a day against the Ravens. This 30-yarder to T.J. Hushmanzada makes it 24-0. Palmer, 15 of 20, 206 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Bengals. Dick and Rich, back to you.
Yeah, the Bengals, Greg, certainly emerging as one of the top teams in the NFL, and Carson Palmer living up to all of his Heisman Trophy potential. Now Brady, 3rd down and 10. He's going to scramble. He's got the first down and slides at the 47-yard line. Man who knows how to slide, a catcher in his high school days, good enough to be drafted by major league teams as a left-handed hitting catcher. San Mateo, California.
When you play that 2-deep man coverage, you count for everybody, count for all the backs, you count for the tight end and receivers. No one's accounted for Tom Brady. Tom Brady recognizes that, pulls it down, and gets a big first down for the Patriots.
Leading rushers now for the Patriots. Dwight with 17, Brady with 15. And here's the fake to Dwight, and then the screen to Patrick Pass, and that did not fool Kansas City. No fooling in New York either, Greg Gumbel. What do you have for us?
Dick, in Minnesota, the Vikings looking for a perfect November behind Brad Johnson. All alone, Marcus Robinson, 15 yards and a touchdown. Vikes lead the Browns 17-3 in the 3rd.
Well, thanks, Greg. You old quarterbacks have to enjoy a guy like Johnson coming out, the mothballs flying, and doing a good job for the Vikes.
Yeah, he's been huge for the Vikings. 4 in a row, I think, for Brad Johnson.
2nd down and 12. Brady in the den of the Arrowhead Stadium. Brady throws down the middle, incomplete. Going to the tight end Daniel Graham, but he was well covered by the rookie Johnson, and that's one of the many qualities that Johnson brings to the defense, that he can run with receivers and not only play the attack game and tackle, but cover.
Well, there's a big emphasis in the offseason to improve this Kansas City defense. They had to add speed. They feel like they've done that with Kendrell Bell, and certainly with the first-round pick, Derek Johnson, they think is their best athlete on the field right now.
3rd and a dozen. Complete, and a first down to Graham, and he staggers to the 41-yard line. Tackled by Derek Johnson, and Brady tough, staying in there to the last minute.
Well, no one will ever question his toughness. He'll sit in there. He's got a tough jaw. Makes all the throws, and one of the great things about him is his accuracy. Sees Daniel Graham. I mean, this isn't bad coverage by Derek Johnson. Tom Brady just puts it in a place where he can't make the play.
15-yard gain and a first down. That was a 3rd and 12 play. Brady dropping deep, throws to the sideline. Wide open is Tim Dwight, and he cuts inside the 25 to the 23 before Surtain and Knight, 2 ex-Dolphins, can make the stop.
Well, this is just what you don't want if you're the Chiefs. They went in at halftime with a comfortable lead. Patriots came out and played real well defensively on that first series, and now offensively, Patriots starting to play with some confidence. Tom Brady's starting to get in a groove here.
6.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. On the ground, Patrick Pass weaving his way to the 16-yard line, where he is decked by Greg Wesley. The nickname for Wesley out of college was OC, out of control, and he will hit you.
Yeah, he's a physical guy in that back end, and Dick Van Mill told us he's having his best year leads the team coming in with interceptions, but he's playing with more confidence back there, making better decisions back in the back end. See Gunther Cunningham, their fearless leader on the defense. He's instilled a new attitude with these players.
7 yards on the pass carry, 2nd and 3, and back to Patrick Pass. He has the first down and more, driving down to the 7-yard line. Pass used primarily when Corey Dillon and Kevin Falk are available as a pass receiver, but has to take the running game to some level with the absence of so many injured players.
Well, you talked about Greg Wesley and how physical he is. Just watch him at the back end with Patrick Pass. Listen to this one. Well, there's two guys competing, giving it their all. I mean, this is a physical game right now. Both these teams putting it on the line.
10th play of the drive, and ex-Chief Michael Cloud is in the backfield on 1st and goal at the 6. The throw incomplete, intended for Deion Branch. Surtain there on the coverage, and they picked up one of the outstanding cover men in the league in getting Surtain.
Well, he's been a great player, a great addition for them, and he came over with Sammy Knight, and they certainly played together and have that confidence in each other, having played together in Miami the last couple of years. And they've added speed in that back end as well, and two good players for the Chiefs so far this season.
2nd and goal, Cloud the running back. On the draw, Cloud up the middle to the goal line. Is he in? No, they're going to mark it up about the 1-foot line. I wonder if Belichick is playing a hunch. It started to rain. He brought in Cloud.
Well, they're starting to win the battle up front now. We talked about it in the first half with the Chiefs' offensive line. The Patriots' offensive line's really coming on, starting to get some push. Running the ball right downhill, right at the Chiefs, right up the middle.
Pass, and Evans in the backfield. 3rd and a goal at the 1. And into the end zone is pass for the touchdown. Patrick Pass, his 3rd rushing score of the season. And the first touchdown for the Patriots today comes at 4:21 left in the 3rd quarter.
Well, that does a lot for their confidence. It was a great drive. They put together a string of plays. Tom Brady making some big decisions, some big completions, a big run on 3rd down. Keep the chains moving. It's something this team can really build on here in the second half.
Vinatieri for the extra point. And with 4:21 left, the Patriots go 69 yards in 12 plays and tighten the score at 26-10. A reminder tonight, 60 Minutes kicks it off. What's the biggest thing in home sales? It's the size of the homes themselves. See what the big deal's all about tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by a new cold case. Then a world premiere holiday movie, Silver Bells, tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. Yeah, they're all here and well decorated as Dante Hall anticipates Vinatieri's kickoff. It comes down at the 11. And he skids to the 32-yard line into the arms of Heath Evans.
Well, the guy that's played well for the Chiefs today is Trent Green. He told us there'd be some opportunities if we can protect. And that's just what happened. They're taking shots down the field. This guy never gets fooled. He does such a great job preparing and watching film each week. He spreads it around, does a good job as anybody, using all his receivers in the package. Again, just making great plays down the field, something that's really been missing from this offense the whole season.
He, too, playing this season with a heavy heart. You saw him point there after the touchdown. His father, Jim, dying at a very young age, just within a month. And Larry Johnson powers his way. Willie McGinnis with a tackle. Let's go down to Armand.
Well, Dick, just to follow up on your story there with Trent's dad, he said, he died suddenly from that heart attack last month. Trent paid homage in a very special way. Before the Oakland game, he went up into the empty stands, taped off a seat that his dad has always sat in with a note saying how much he appreciated that no one would sit in that seat during the game. It remained empty. Trent led his team to a win over Oakland, and his family's up there today. Back to you.
Thank you, Armand. Young guy that if you say something bad about Trent Green, there must be something wrong with you. That's Larry Johnson, and they're trying to pull the ball away unsuccessfully. Bruschi and Colvin, the linebackers, but Johnson now over the 100-yard mark again. 4 starts, 4 centuries for Larry Johnson. 24 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown today, as you see there on StatTrax.
Well, he had 211 last week, and Dick Vermeil sent D. Brown in late in the 4th quarter to give him a blow. He sent D. Brown right back out of the game and said, hey, I'm going to finish this game. That's the kind of player Larry Johnson is.
And the whistle on the false start will be called against Kansas City.
He's waited too long for his opportunity playing behind Priest Holmes.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And, you know, Richie had to play for 3 years behind Omar Easy and others at Penn State. Finally gets his chance as a senior and goes on to win the Doak Walker Award as the best running back, 3rd in the Heisman, 3rd behind Carson Palmer. And then patience again is a virtue here in Kansas City. And now he's paying some dividends. Green inside to Larry Johnson, and Johnson shows he can catch the ball in traffic as well. Takes it to the 48-yard line. Bruschi, the tackler, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7.
Well, you talk about Larry Johnson, how frustrated he was at Penn State. Nothing's ever come easy to this guy. He comes to Kansas City and he said, hey, I was a backup to a backup. And he actually played behind Derek Blaylock the last couple of years, and so he said, hey, I'm too good of a player. I need to play more. And he went to Carl Peterson and Chiefs and said, hey, you got to find a way to get me on the field.
Yeah, there's an edge to him. He said, I'd like to use whatever anger in a positive way as a player. And look at him running aggressively right to the 45 of New England, and that's at the sticks.
The thing you don't expect from Larry Johnson, a 230-pound back, but he's pretty nimble. He's got an extra gear. You watch him skip right, hop through this little hole here, and finds a way to get skinny in the hole. And that's something very unusual for a big back. But Larry Johnson's got a very explosive nature to him. He's got an extra gear, probably that Priest Holmes doesn't have in the open field. And he's having some of his best football now in the second part of the season.
It's a foot shy of a first down. Johnson was the 2nd running back picked 2 years ago behind McGahee. Went to Buffalo. And interestingly, he was the 27th selection, the number he wears on his uniform.
That's tough for young players when you come to the league, especially as a first-round pick. The expectations are so high. A lot of peer pressure, a lot of people talking about your performance, or you're a flop in your first year. And came into a tough situation here. This was a veteran team, an experienced team, and had to play behind Priest Holmes. He had to be patient. It's really paid off for him in a big way.
You see the Wilson ball, number 52, a good vintage, by the way. So it's 3rd in inches. We can talk wine because Dick Vermeil owns a winery up near his homestead in Calistoga, California. On the edge, it's on the edge of Napa and Sonoma Valleys.
Wine connoisseur. Old Dick Vermeil.
It's got to be Johnson, and it is. Look at him battle forward. He's in the top 10 in the league in yards after contact. First down at the 46. The games that are underway thus far on this Sunday, Larry Johnson is the leading rusher now at 111 yards, and Steven Jackson having a big day for the Rams as well. Reuben Drones continues to do well for Cleveland, doesn't he? Rudy Johnson, LaDainian Tomlinson. Chargers have fallen behind 17-7 at Washington. Johnson spinning, looking for more. He's down to the 35-yard line. Add 6 more to the total. And the way he's going to hit the 1,000-yard mark today.
Well, they talked earlier about the importance of wrapping up, especially with Larry Johnson carrying the ball. Teddy Bruschi said this has to be a big week for tackling for us. You see him in the hole, spinning out from the Richard Seymour effort. These guys need to get more hats on Larry Johnson. He's the type of guy that you have to get 3 or 4 guys around the pile to bring him down. He's just too explosive a player.
Yeah, there's the explosive statistic. 63 added yards after contact today. Green underneath the Hall. And it's a first down at the 22. So you have to watch Gonzalez. So 2 men attracted to Gonzalez. You have to honor Johnson's running ability, and that leaves others wide open. The end of 3. 26-10 Kansas City. Will return after this message and a word from your local station. With Gonzalez in motion, Johnson walks it in for the touchdown. And the rain kind of cooling things off here. It's a spring-like day, as we mentioned. Temperature near 60 degrees. Rain was in the forecast. Heavy rain. This is the first serious precipitation we've seen today. You must have loved that, Rich.
Well, I'll tell you, it's tough when you get behind the game. You're Tom Brady sitting over there. What else could possibly go wrong? Now you got to deal with wet balls in the fourth quarter.
Green and the Chiefs at the 20-yard line. Johnson ran through the tackle. They strip him of the ball, and New England has it. Was he down as Ty Warren comes up with it? Johnson trying for that extra yardage, and the Patriots able to steal the ball. And, of course, that's the hazard of those runners who don't want to go down. And the fans just now realizing that the Chiefs lost the ball, although on the replay they feel maybe he was down. Let's see.
You see he's got it in his inside hand. Gets tied up early. He's just been fighting for extra yardage all day, spinning out of it. I don't know if that ball came down as he hit the ground or hit somebody's foot. Hard to tell from that angle. See Richard Seymour grabbing it. It looks to me like he might have been down. Oh, it's coming out early. There it is.
Yeah, it's out.
There it is. That's Richard Seymour.
So the Patriots get what they needed desperately, a turnover.
Well, the Patriots get it started here. Roosevelt, Colvin, Stajcik. Watch Richard Seymour come in here at the end. He's going to get his left arm up inside just enough to pop that ball out. It does come out, Dick, before he hits the ground.
Yeah, there you see it cleanly.
After reviewing the play, the ball is clearly out before the runner is down. The ruling on the field stands. Kansas City is charged. The first timeout.
Now Dick Vermeil challenging. He's made 1 out of 5 have been overruled in his challenges this year. And for the Patriots, surprisingly, especially when you consider their Super Bowl successes, that's only the 10th takeaway in 11 games.
Yeah, they're not blitzing as much and not playing aggressive as much aggressive defense because of all the injuries in the back end.
Let's see if they can score quickly here. Plenty of time in the fourth quarter. Down 26-10. Brady throwing complete. Tim Dwight hit by Eric Warfield. What's happening elsewhere? Let's go back to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, thank you. At FedEx Field in Washington, the Redskins. Brock Cartwright, 13 yards to the end zone, untouched. 17-10. Redskins lead San Diego with plenty of time to play in the fourth quarter.
All right, thank you, Greg. And, of course, San Diego and Kansas City in that runner-up spot behind front-running Denver in the West. Patrick pass across the 30 to the 31. Did he fumble? Some of the fans on the far side reacting as if he had.
That ball did come out. Logan Mankins jumps on it. You get the rain, you get the moisture on the ball. Looks like John Browning gets his hand in on that carry from Patrick pass. That ball does come out. Logan Mankins does a nice job jumping on that ball.
He was in the right place for the ball to bounce off his leg and saves a disastrous turnover for New England. Here's pass finding his way out to the 37, 38-yard line.
Well, one thing I know about this Patriot football team, they will not quit. I think sometimes you get to be like your head coach. You have the same demeanor, the same attitude, the same personality. This team is like Bill Belichick. They're tough-minded competitors. They go out and compete each week. Regardless of the scoreboard, regardless of the situation, they're going to give you their best effort.
Yeah, excuse is not in the vocabulary of Belichick, and he doesn't expect it from his team. Brady. Under pressure, throws complete to Deion Branch, and Branch is to the Kansas City 42 before Kavika Mitchell, the middle linebacker, can bring him down.
They're starting to get a little bit better protection for Tom Brady. When you give Tom Brady protection, he can hurt you. See Branch just working up in that zone defense, and the Chiefs just finding a little hole. And Patriots playing with more confidence right now, and you can see it in Tom Brady's eyes.
20 yards on that completion. The backfield as Patrick passes. Benny Sapp came in on a corner blitz.
Well, they're in their nickel defense, and Benny Sapp comes off the edge and times it up beautifully. Tim Dwight can't get in there quick enough to get a hat on him, and Sapp makes the easy play in the backfield.
No gain on the play. Rain continues to fall, not quite as heavily. Brady, come back complete to Branch again, and he has a first down outside the 25-yard line.
They just won't go away. And watch Deion Branch just working on Eric Warfield up top, and there's a little double move, and Warfield's not going to get beaten. That cushion just too much for Deion Branch.
16 on the play. It's his third catch of the game. Another solid drive by Tom Brady. Brady, plenty of time down the middle, complete to the 7-yard line. Tim Dwight. Dwight seeing a lot of duty today, what with the injuries, and David Givens being out, Bethel Johnson not playing as well.
This really becomes a chess match. You get a couple first downs, a couple completions by Brady. Gunther Cunningham brings the blitz. Patriots keep enough guys in to protect. You see this great catch by Tim Dwight extending. Again, another high throw by Tom Brady. But Tim Dwight's able to make that play.
Quite a drive for Brady. 4 out of 4 and 62 yards. First and goal at the 6. And Brady spends a timeout. That's the third in the game where he's been forced to call a stoppage of the clock.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Paramount Pictures' new film Eon Flux. Starts Friday, December 2nd in theaters only, rated PG-13. The United States Army, an army of one. And by the Acura TSX with MP3 player connectivity. Your life, your car connected.
Fans trying to raise the noise level here at Arrowhead as the Patriots, after a long drive to a touchdown, have, under the leadership of Tom Brady, put together another extensive drive, and it's first and goal at the 6-yard line. Brady in the shotgun. Now he changes plays. Patrick pass with him. Rolls, throws, complete to Branch, but he doesn't get in. Knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Well, this is vintage Tom Brady. Sees the blitz off the slot, changes the protection, keeps Patrick pass in, gets himself a quick rollout, makes a great throw to Deion Branch, and that's where Tom Brady's at his best. Directing traffic back there, recognizing the situations defensively, getting his team into better plays as a result of it.
Second and goal. The fake, the throw, touchdown, Christian Fourier. Fourier's first touchdown reception of the season. The 11-year veteran out of Colorado, and you can see Brady saying, we're going to go for 2.
Well, this is what the Patriots do as well as anybody, especially in the +5 area. Christian Fourier, you see him work up the middle of the field. Patriots have a slew of plays, a slew of pass plays in this particular area just for this situation. A lot of offensive teams in the league only have a couple throws down there with your big personnel. The Patriots have a bunch, and they do them all very, very well. We'll need another one here in this situation, a two-point play.
Fake to Evans. Brady now in trouble. Throws incomplete. So the two-pointer denied. It's 26-15. After the fumble recovery, it was a 78-yard drive in 9 plays. And Brady a perfect 6 for 6 on the drive. The last a 1-yard score to that man, Christian Fourier, the tight end. So 13 unanswered points by the Patriots as the Sun now trying to break through. And Vinatieri rips an end over end to Dante Hall at the 5. Hall poked from behind at the 45-yard line. Michael Cloud clipped him on the heels. He was on his way. Oh, tomorrow on CBS, all new, beginning with Ray Romano's return to Monday night as a special guest star on The King of Queens. That'll be fun. Followed by How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, and Out of Practice. And don't miss Monday's #1 show, CSI Miami. And The Late Show with Dave, all tomorrow, Monday, CBS, America's most watched network. Green and the Chiefs start from the 45. Patriots have the momentum. Screen. Johnson hit in the backfield by Roosevelt Colvin. Former cotton candy salesman as a kid at the Hoosier Dome in his hometown of Indianapolis. And that being rewarded as a sweet hit for Colvin.
Well, just a great play by him. Actually gets out in front of Brian Waters, the pulling guard for the Chiefs, and makes a big play in the backfield. And now the rain's starting to come down pretty heavy here in Kansas City, and if you're Trent Green, you like nothing more than to hand that ball to Larry Johnson another 15 or 20 times and finish this game.
3-yard loss on the completion to Johnson. Johnson hit at the line of scrimmage, and another loss. Ty Warren and Willie McGinnis teaming on the tackle.
Well, this New England defense starting to play better in the second half. And Chiefs had a lot of success early in the first half running the ball, especially up the middle. And you see starting to get some penetration. Willie McGinnis and Ty Warren getting physical with Larry Johnson.
So 3-yard loss on the pass completion of Johnson. Now 3 more. The deficit on the run. 3rd and 16 into this heavy shower of rain. Green wiping his hands on his pants before the snap. Good protection down the middle. Complete. Right at the sticks to Sammy Parker. We'll see how they mark it. They needed to pass the 45 for the first down. They did.
We talked to Trent Green yesterday about the slick balls. You see him wiping his hands on the back of his pants and says, I got big hands, slick balls don't bother me. I have to grip it differently. You watch the way this ball comes out and the rotation and the spin on the ball. He can't throw it as firm because of the wet ball. And does a nice job understanding that. A veteran guy's been played in a lot of different situations and obviously played in some bad conditions here in Kansas City. And it's a great play by Trent Green.
17 yards on 3rd and 16. Reverse. Kennison caught in the backfield by Richard Seymour. Not fooled a bit.
There's a disciplined player, Richard Seymour. And he's not going to be fooled. You see him loop. He knows he's got contained on the back end, and he does just that. He's not going to let Eddie Kennison run by him. He's made a difference since he's been back. They're playing the run better, and he's certainly one of their most dominant rushers up front in the passing game as well.
Young just turned 26. Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Ball in motion. Screen to Johnson. Skids at the 40, trying to stop and break to the inside, and Eugene Wilson made the stop, and Johnson getting up slowly.
If you're Trent Green and the Chiefs right now, it's not too late to start using up some of this clock and get a big first down here now. And you watch Larry Johnson at the end of this, he just slips too coming out of this cut and takes a shot right in the right knee, and that didn't look pretty.
He comes out for the first time today, and D. Brown, a 5-year veteran from Syracuse, is his replacement. Brown, totally inexperienced, 3 carries all year and 1 catch. And they run out of time. That'll cost the Chiefs 5 on the delay of game. 6:14 left in the fourth quarter. Kansas City leading by 10. D. Brown, his uncle, remember the fine Steelers defensive back Glenn Edwards, played 11 years in the NFL. He was drafted by Carolina back in 2001. Last year with Cleveland, played only 5 games as a special teamer and a kick returner.
Look at Trent Green trying to keep those hands dry, and just never know what kind of ball you're going to get.
3rd and 10, the blitz on, he takes the hit and incomplete to Gonzalez. Eugene Wilson coming in on a safety blitz and really cracked Green, and the fans screaming for roughing the passer don't get it.
When push comes to shove and the game's on the line, expect pressure from this Patriots defense, and that's just what you see here. Trent Green holds it as long as he can, waiting for Gonzalez, and just has to get rid of it.
Rabel didn't know but what Green still had the ball, so he reached out and tripped him up just in case, but no intent to be injurious. Troy Brown back, and the kick is just away as Dustin Colquitt sends it to the 12 and to the 18 is all that the Patriots could manage from the veteran Troy Brown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And by the all-new Civic from Honda. It'll reverse your thinking.
Tonight after 60 minutes, the answers to a family tragedy could be exposed in an old home movie. See why critics call Cold Case TV's best cop show. Don't miss a new episode right here on CBS, America's #1 network. The Patriots down by 10. Brady going back to work with 6 for 6 on the last drive. 7 for 7 now as he hits Tim Dwight. And Dwight spins out for a first down at the 30. And Brady wearing a glove on the left hand, the non-throwing hand, with this wet ball. Did you ever wear a glove wet or cold weather?
Just one time in a game that you actually covered out in Oakland against the Chiefs in a torrential downpour. Does help when it's raining, for sure.
Brady gets away from the rush. Now he's brought down from behind as it's Bell, Kendrell Bell, the linebacker, has been quiet most of this day. Bell wearing a defensive lineman's number, one of the acquisitions to fortify this defense in Kansas City. 3rd sack by the Chiefs.
Brady's starting to pick up the pace with their offense, calling plays at the line of scrimmage, certainly because of this time situation.
Less than 5 to go. Heath Evans with the screen, picking his way upfield and tackled at the 36. 4 yards short of a first down. Mitchell and Wesley on the stop. Clock running at 4:40.
You need 2 scores, and Patriots very well aware of that.
Went for the 2-point conversion after the last touchdown. 8 straight completions, and Evans then gets the handoff, and he's stoned 2 yards short of the first down. Sammy Knight with support from his safety spot.
Obviously 4-down territory. A little surprised with that call. I don't know if maybe Tom called that one at the line of scrimmage thinking the defense would be in coverage, and Chiefs actually ready for that. You look at Gunther Cunningham, the job he's done with this defense.
New England has to go for it. 4th and 2. And it's caught by Deion Brand. branch. Tom Brady told us yesterday there's no question his go-to receiver is Branch, and that's where he went, and he got what he wanted, a first down.
Well, it's a very difficult route to cover if you're a defensive back. It's a back shoulder throw. It's almost a stop route. He'll push him up the field and just stop. Look at Warfield grabbing, but just too good of a throw from Tom Brady.
First down at the 43. Brady deep down the middle. Intercepted by Wesley. He has the hat trick.
Wow, you talk about being in the right place at the right time, Dick. Greg Wesley has been there all day for this Chiefs secondary. And that's just not something you expect from Tom Brady, one of the most accurate passers in the history of the game. And he's been high with a lot of throws today. You just got to say to yourself, there's a lot of uncertainty. He's got a lot of young players playing in front of him, the offensive line, the backs, and just doesn't look completely comfortable. He lets go of this ball early, way before Deion Branch is out of that break, and just anticipating he'll be in that hole, and just comes out a little high, and Greg Wesley makes a great play.
Wesley with 3 interceptions all season and 3 more today, to the dismay of Brady. Fourth down 2 was completed for the first down. Then on first down, Wesley with the interception. McGinnis now playing run all the way, drops Larry Johnson for a loss at the 30-yard line. Clock now is primary, as you saw Brady with a slow first half, but red hot throwing in the second half until that interception.
Well, it's been a tough day for Tom Brady, but you really got to tip your hat to this Kansas City defense, the job that they've done, and Gunther Cunningham in particular. He came in here, he wanted to change the attitude of this defense. He wanted to create their own identity. And, if you were a Kansas City Chief defensive player the last 5 years, you're almost like a second-class citizen here in Kansas City. You're embarrassed to go out in public, and this is a defense that's been victimized and has been really at the basement in just about every statistical category defensively until the arrival of Gunther Cunningham, a guy that I'm very familiar with. You go in their defensive meeting room, you see signs like hit him in the mouth and prove it. I mean, that's Gunther Cunningham's personality, and he's trying to instill that with these young players, and they're starting to buy in, and you can see it in their performance.
Timeout was called by New England. They have 1 remaining. A loss on first down at 2nd and 12. Spun down as the sack recorded by Roosevelt Colvin. He has 3.5 on the season. That's why they acquired him as an unrestricted free agent from the Bears.
That's a scary situation. Trent Green, he got to be careful in this situation. Devastating a turnover here, and does a good job protecting that ball at the end and not putting the ball on the ground.
Last timeout spent by Bill Belichick. That he's forced the Chiefs backward in the first 2 plays, 3rd and 19. You look at the AFC East, where arguably the easiest division in the NFL. The Patriots have a 2-game lead coming in over Buffalo, with Miami and the Jets trailing. And the good news for Patriot fans is that after this game, New England has 5 opponents with a combined record of 18 and 32. They play the Jets twice. Buffalo has a losing record. Miami has a losing. Only Tampa Bay, as you can see in the middle there, and they host them in Foxborough with a winning record. So one figures that the Patriots will probably be favored in every one of those games. Maybe not Tampa Bay. So one has the feeling we'll see them in the playoffs again. And the Bills are losing today 13-9 to the Panthers. Protecting the ball, Johnson, as he falls to the 25-yard line, and the Chiefs will use as much time as they can here before punting it away.
Well, you talk about the AFC East, and the one constant is Tom Brady. And you look at the other quarterback situations in the AFC East, and it's unsettling. You look at Buffalo with Kelly Holcomb and J.P. Lossman, and the situation in New York, having used 4 quarterbacks already, the Jets Pennington and Jay Fiedler, Testaverde, Bollinger. And so the one constant in the AFC East has been Tom Brady. He lines up and plays every week. Miami's going through a couple quarterbacks, and that's really the difference. The stability at that quarterback position is huge, and Tom Brady is just that for the Patriots.
They come after Colquitt, but he gets it away. Tim Dwight, 32. And runs it to the sidelines. Wisely stops the clock, but of course he would have gotten that on the tackle anyway on change of possession. Reminder coming up on the Subway postgame show. It'll be Greg and Dan and Shannon and Boomer. No raindrops in New York, we trust, for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. All coming up on the Subway postgame show.
You got a feel for Tom Brady, but you take everything in consideration. I mean, he's had an impressive year with his numbers, especially when you look at the fact that he's had offensive linemen out and receivers and backs. And I think today was just too much to overcome the injuries for the Patriots today.
And we get the final. Carolina beat Buffalo 13-9. So regardless, win or lose, the Patriots still will have a handsome lead in the AFC East underneath to Evans. And he's close to a first down at the 45 where Mitchell and Sapp make the tackle. No timeouts for Brady, so he hurries them along. Trailing by 10, 26-16, 2:20 left in the fourth quarter. The pump and the long throw down the middle. Incomplete, intended for Benjamin Watson. Sammy Knight, good job of coverage on the big tight end.
Those are some of the more difficult throws at this point in the game. You're only getting three-man rushes by the Chiefs. And Tom Brady trying to stick him in some tight holes down the field to his tight end, Ben Watson.
2:10, well, actually 2:11 remaining. Brady actually walks out and perhaps gives the play to his wide receiver. Moving Evans side to side. Three-man rush again. Brady cranks it up. Throws to Dwight. First down and more, and ducks out of bounds. Stops the clock. 33-yard line, and that'll give New England another play before the 2-minute warning. Big game for Tim Dwight, called into service because of all the injuries. 5 catches, 76 yards.
Well, it's a trademark of this football team. Guys stepping up to make plays despite the injuries and everything else. And just working Sapp in the middle. Good route, good patience at the top of that route by Tim Dwight.
20 yards on the catch. Brady, incomplete, and is it intercepted? Yes, it is. Oh my, another carom, and this time it's Sammy Knight. Took it away from Wesley, who would have had 4. His team, and a little unlucky on that one. His receiver had it, bobbled it. Tim Dwight and into the arms of Sammy Knight, and with no timeouts left, Kansas City will perform a couple of kneel downs and it'll be over.
Well, you get in these situations, these desperate situations, you become more aggressive, trying to stick this one into Tim Dwight. Hits him on the back shoulder. Hopefully a throw that or catch that he can come up with, but that just has not been Tom Brady's day here against the Chiefs secondary.
Hug from Gunther Cunningham, and Tim Dwight displeased with himself. The Patriots hoping to drive in for the quick score and then go for the onside kick. But they will leave Kansas City with a loss, 6-5, but still a 2-game lead over Buffalo in the East. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. Today's game produced by Mark Wolf and directed by Bob Fishman. Senior producer of CBS Sports and the NFL Today is Eric Mann. Director Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. Happy birthday, Harold. Associate directors of today's game, Ryan Galvin and Joe Sapula. The broadcast associates, Bill Thayer, Brian Jagoda, and the technical manager is Jim Baker. Technical director, Dennis Stone. Audio supervisor, Kevin Little. Player ID, courtesy of Mike Glutt. And our statistician, Butch Baird, and with research, Max Greenspan. Thank you all, men and women, from Arrowhead Stadium for our CBS coverage today. And for Kansas City, still alive, with their hopes high for a playoff in this NFL season, they go 7-4. Trent Green, 300-yard plus day passing. Larry Johnson is running back over 100 yards, rushing to lead Kansas City to their 7th victory of the season. And now it gets really tough for KC. All their opponents the rest of the way have winning records. It'll be a tough goal. Thank you for being with us in Kansas City. Now to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, thank you. So